Hello everyone and welcome. Today I'm going to be doing another potential route for Hibiki. The main thing I'd recommend is taking max MP plus 50. The rest you can switch around to whatever you want to play with. I like having the potential refreshes to make sure I get what I need early on, but it's up to you if you want to take them or not. The extra max MP is really important for Hibiki if you're going his base skill, which is what I'll be going this run, because Hibiki can't actually get any MP regeneration as he has his Glaives out from his base skill. I'll be referring them I'll be referring to them as Glaives from now on, so I don't have to keep saying base skill every time. So having the extra base MP is a lot more important on him to just allow you to cast your Glaives back to back. I really need to look for orbiting Glaives as well as one of my really early upgrades. I'll go ahead and take the SP skill. This is where having the extra refreshes comes in handy, especially if you're playing on lower difficulty settings and you don't start with so many. Also, check this out. My SP skill is already back. I'll use it, and the first time I went back to 60 SP. Second time I only went to like 30, but it's still really funny either way. So the way that Hibiki gains SP back is you need to hit an enemy from behind. And the funny part is you're not locked out of gaining SP as you're using the SP skill itself. So when you're hitting a bunch of enemies from behind like that, you just you gain back a ton of SP before the skill even ends. Hibiki is a character where you don't have to worry too much about preserving your SP for boss fights. A lot of characters, you have to really try and save it up so you have it once you come to the boss area. But with Hibiki, you can just throw it out and get it back quickly. Even on boss fights, you can get it back quickly. I really need another potential upgrade. I'm not getting lucky with having like exchanges here or even just potential rooms. I keep getting tactic rooms instead. The basic version of the skill glaives is not very good at all. I don't know why. It should at least do like multi-hitting damage as enemies are standing on the glaives, but for some reason it just deals one hit when they go out and one hit when they come back. I might get really fucked over this run. Not having potentials by the time I go into the boss fight. Usually this almost never happens. You have to get really unlucky for it to happen. having this room is really not what I want to see either. Not this early in the run when I've only got one potential. Hibiki really struggles with dealing AoE damage and keeping enemies under control. He feels like he has a pretty low amount of hit stun compared to other characters. And then just him not having a lot of range on his attacks too makes things very difficult. So you want to pick up the Oblivion Glaive upgrade, where they orbit around you as early as possible to help with some of that some of those issues. And then it's also going to be the DPS of what's proccing frost damage as well as frost burst. I'd really like to have another potential or two by this point, but I guess not. I don't know why I bought that speedrun reward. It's like impossible to actually get it. Completing a combat space in less than 10 seconds. The only thing you could maybe even do that on is one of the rooms where you have to kill 50 enemies to progress. Even then, 10 seconds is a very short amount of time. I think he's at his HP threshold. I just have to wait until he finishes attack animation. I was about to SP skill there, but it would have been a waste. So now that I have the orbiting glaives, you can see that they actually deal multi-hits now. They deal a lot of hits, and that's going to be useful for stacking up both my SP skill and my frost burst and frost damage. And it takes down bosses pretty quickly. It's definitely not on the DPS of Endlos Lace, but it's high enough DPS that it's gonna comfortably clear rooms for you. I mean, clear runs for you. And the cool thing too about it is that you can go into literally any other build as soon as you have the rotating orbs upgrade. Because those orbs the rotating glaives just deal damage for you automatically. So it lets you still go into this route that has high DPS, while not locking you into a specific playstyle in terms of your attacking options. The other nice thing is, similar to what I talked about in my S video, is that having the glaives where they just rotate around you and deal automatic damage means you can still kill enemies while focusing on dodging attacks. It's a very safe build to play in that way, if you want to play it very carefully. The other thing you could see there is that SP skill also scales off of frost damage and procs frost burst. So taking that frost helps out a lot with that as well. The SP skill is already pretty decently strong on its own, but when you're using frost to increase its damage even further, it's strong on a lot of characters. Ragna especially has a very strong SP skill, and putting frost on top of that makes it just disintegrate bosses. So another thing you want to look for is Oblivion Glaives become bigger and deal more damage. The Glaives themselves aren't the main source of damage. The Frost and the Frost Burst is doing the majority of the damage, but this is also a pretty big damage increase as well. So now that you can see that I have the damage increase, I can just pretty much walk through the enemies with the Glaives, and it'll kill everything for me. You have to be very careful if you take this upgrade. I would recommend just skipping it. It says before recalling the Glaives, the first attack becomes a powerful slash. And so watch here, if I use my Glaives and then I try to attack, it'll use that extra slash. The problem is it recalls the Glaives immediately when you do it, and it doesn't give you any of the MP as a refund. So you're just basically wasting your Glaives. It does okay damage, but not enough damage to be worth what you wasted. And, like, it seems like there's also a certain time frame, so you can see I was attacking there towards the end of the Glaives duration, but it seems like you can only use the enhanced slash towards the beginning of the casting animation. Maybe I've missed something there, but that's what it's always felt like to me. So that's always more of like a detrimental thing to me. I'll be recalling them when I'm not meaning to. And like, I would want to use the recall right at the end, but it doesn't seem like it lets me. I might pick up Piercing Feather, since it's here. It's a pretty good extra attack, especially if you get triple jump to go along with it, because it'll activate a hidden effect where you can use it 3 times in a row. I maybe should have bought the potential there, but the MP cost is going to be really useful, and I can always get more potentials later. It is so funny being at 68 MP or more just by casting the, or SP, just by casting the skill itself. I can already use it again. Another thing you can take is, before Oblivion Glaives return, dash becomes Whirlwind Roll. It's a really good source of damage as you're moving around. I wouldn't pick up the Whirlwind Roll until you already have your triple dash. Otherwise, the Whirlwind Roll feels a lot more clunky to use compared to just regular dash attacks. I think you activate a hidden effect if you have the triple dash as well. I'll check after this. So normally I go with damage, but I'm more concerned with not dying on Hibiki rather than dealing damage. So I'm gonna go with the other upgrade. Let me check my hidden effects too. Yeah, Whirlwind Roll, no immobilization recovery when using it consecutively. That makes it a lot more smooth to play around. So here's another thing. I'm gonna... Wait, what? Oh, I don't have my SP. Hang on. I need to wait till my MP comes back now. There we go. He just disappeared. So what I did there was I put on my skill, and then I went immediately into my SP skill. It stacks the damage of the rotating glaives on top of the SP skill, and also ensures that you get the most damage out of the rotating glaives, because you're invincible during the entire animation of the SP skill. How do I already have my SP skill back? That's the other thing. You can stack your SP regeneration as well by having those rotating glaives attacking while you're in your SP skill. So this build is just really fun to play. It's another one that stacks his SP regeneration really high, and you can pretty much build it however you want once you get the two rotating glaives and extra glaive damage. Staggering cuts is a pretty good potential to go into. I don't know why. I've been trying several runs and the game is just not wanting to give me it, or I'll get it and then I won't get any upgrades for it. So I actually messed up one of my other tactics potential selections. I took the jump can reset combo counter, but I should have taken triple jump. That one just activates another hidden effect with Piercing Feather, where you can use it 3 times in a row. So just to show it in case it doesn't come back up later, Staggering Cuts is this one, the down plus dash input. If you can get this plus the invincibility, you can do a similar thing that I was talking about with you use the invincibility while you have your rotating glaives active, and you just get a lot of free damage off of it while you're also safe. And then on top of that, if you can also stack in the cooldown is halved, you have Staggering Cuts up very, very often. I'll get this one though, just show it off, since I already have most of the things that I need for it. I need a heal here. It's very easy to end up taking damage on Hibiki because of his low range and low hit stun. The glaives really help with both of those issues, but you still have to get in a decently close range. And then there's Piercing Feather. I haven't shown it off too much because I haven't really had a need to. It's just a new version of your air attack, which throws... They look like knives, but I don't know what they are technically. It throws them down as another source of having a ranged attack. They're not real great, but they're not bad either. So I'd really like to start going into Staggering Cuts game. It's just not cooperating with me. And it's been in like every single run that I've tried today too. It's not like I'm just having a bad luck on this run. It's been all the time. Oh yeah, and then another thing with the Piercing Feather, the air attack, is just once you get triple jump upgrade, it lets you use it 3 times in a row instead of only once. I could technically do that and then dodge and use it another 3 times. The damage of it does not feel good at all. You could probably use it to stack Frost Attack, though, if you have like a really big target like a boss, or you're close enough to stack a bunch of hits on top of each other. Otherwise, I don't think it's really that great of a potential. I'd like a rest or something, or even a shop. But this bottom stage could be a combat stage, which I don't want to take. It'll just waste part of my timer. As long as this doesn't remove my MP cost, it's fine. I don't really need any of the other buffs too much. I'd really prefer if it gave me the invincibility during staggering cuts, but I'll take the reduced cooldown. So here I could go for the potential, but just as I was saying, I only have 2 minutes and 40 seconds left. So if I go into that combat room, it takes a lot of time off my timer. And also I think the shop is just better anyways. I can either buy a potential or buy MP, buy healing. There's so much I can get out of a shop. And I can get multiple upgrades out of the same shop, whereas the potential room would just give me one potential. There we go, there's my invincibility. Now, it's very possible that I just completely forget to use staggering cuts for the rest of the run. I have a bad habit of doing that, especially when I'm doing commentary. It's tricky to pick up a lot of different attacks throughout the run, because you build your muscle memory pretty early on throughout the run of the attacks that you have. And then adding in new ones is just trickier to do. That was really bad timing on my part at the end there. That really should have been an easy perfect clear. So it is worth noting that if you take this Oblivion Glaive upgrade and you have the staggering cuts, it'll upgrade the final hit of staggering cuts. So you'll see here, the last hit does a ton of damage. The only problem with it is that... No, I guess the animation isn't that bad. I thought the animation was long, but you can just cancel out of it with a roll, or dodge, I mean. But it will also recall my glaives the same way that the other one would. So I'm not sure if I like taking it or not. That one's up to you if you want to take it. I guess I'll be getting dual wing. I think this potential's really garbage. I've even gotten potential upgrades for it, and it still felt really useless. I'll show it off here. Just did, like, nothing. I barely even see their HP bars gone at all. And like I said, even with the upgrades for it, it barely gets any better. I got butterflies again. That's gonna be a little annoying. Luckily, most of the time, having my glaives out will just kill them for me. So the reason why I'm discarding all of my tactics is that on my entropy settings, you get it at like 70. You start being able to discard tactics for 130 each. That's almost enough to buy potential in a shop, and I would much rather have potentials than tactics. Now that only applies once I have enough DPS from my tactics, though. If I didn't have the starting legacy characters that I did, I would be taking tactics up until the point of where I got enough DPS out of my tactics that it's more worth it to take potentials instead. I wonder what hidden effect that activated. Cooldown ends immediately after the last hits the 5 slashes, so I can just use it back to back. Interesting. I never quite realized that. Oh man, it didn't work how I wanted it to. The reason I used my SP skill there is because I saw the enemies up on this top floor, and I thought it would reach them, but apparently not. Oh, this should be pretty easy to kill 60 enemies. I don't even have to really do anything. I can just press, I can press my Oblivion Glaives and then roll around till I run out of mana at least. Now this might not actually be good. Did not go into my SP skill when I landed there. I pressed it immediately as I landed, but I probably got hit. I can use it again. Alright, that was okay. It certainly should have gone a lot better, but at least I didn't die. Those rooms with... The problem there was that this debuff right here, standard enemies have more armor equal to 10% of their HP. I've talked about it before as being one of the trickiest debuffs to deal with. Because the problem is when enemies have that extra layer of armor, they can't be staggered or hit stunned at all, whatever you want to call it. Their attacks can't be cancelled, you can't stop them from attacking, and stopping enemies from ever attacking in the first place is how you really deal with this high amount of enemies and their attacking quicker as well. So having that debuff is very, very tricky on these entropy settings. Another thing that I finally picked up is fast kill MP recovery. You really, really want to try and pick this up pretty much on any character if you see it in the shop. But on this build especially, killing 3 enemies within a quick succession gives you 30 extra MP. Now we'll see, I can probably just have an endless amounts of glaives out in this room. Because, like I said before, I can't normally regenerate any MP while I have the Glaives out. But thanks to this, I can now get some MP back. Ah, this is another really, really bad room. Mostly due to the increased enemy count and the entropy settings I'm on. I also just can't see where the fuck I am sometimes. That's kind of a problem in general, but for this room especially, this room is just like a perfect chaos of everything. You can't jump to avoid enemies, and there's so many enemies packed in here that they can cover like the entire screen itself, especially when you've got the particle effects of your attacks and the enemy attacks going on top of it. I can't believe I just missed a 70% chance. I needed that debuff removal too, but I think we'll be fine. I'll be able to deal really good damage to Oread here. Really, I didn't have... I'm surprised I didn't have invincible or dodge frames there. Okay, that was a lot closer than I wanted it to be. It's hard to focus on stacking up SP there. I guess I'll get Heavy Strike. I really don't like Shadow Heal. It's very strong, and especially with the upgrade where it says the last one, upon impact with an enemy, it summons clones to follow up. It's very good damage, I just don't like the input method. You have to do attack and then a dodge in a row. And the problem is that I talked about it in my S video, if you've seen that one. Otherwise, there's a thing you can do to cancel out of a lot of your attack animations, or the ending of the animations, by doing a roll and then jumping. The roll will cancel your attack animation, and then your jump will cancel the roll animation. So the problem is, if I take that potential, and then I go to do that on Hibiki, it's now using a different attack instead of the animation cancel that I want to do. So let me pick up a potential here, and I can just show it real quickly. So what I mean is that if I'm doing just like my basic attack string, like this for example, there's always a delay between when I can start moving or attacking afterwards. But you see, if I do a dodge, or something like a dodge attack is a really good way of doing it. It allows me to either get out of the attack more quickly to evade away, or it sets up into other combo strings. Especially for evasion, having that changed into a different attack instead of my regular dodge cancels really can mess me up in the middle of runs. So usually I just don't take it, unless I'm specifically trying to make a build around it. I should really try to get rid of some of these debuffs here. And I have a lot of really bad debuffs too. I'm gonna have to make sure I kill some stuff as I move around Omega Sector. What the heck? That is a weird Omega Sector layout. I'm sure it looks close, but it's gonna make me move a long ways away. Having my Glaives should keep me pretty safe through moving through the Omega Sector, but still I need to be a little bit careful. The enemies here, with their high attacking rates from Entropy and they're capped out on damage, can really kill you quickly. Like right there, for example. I was really worried about ending up in that enemy attack. If that enemy shot right there, and the other enemy spinning attack would have hit me at the same time, it's very likely it could have killed me. That was a bad time to use my Glaives, but it's not too big of an issue. You get extra MP regeneration while you're in Omega Sector, so you can use skills a lot more often than normal. I don't think this is really a great idea. I wanted a little bit more money. I really don't want to go into that boss fight. Yeah, that did not end up being something that paid off. If there would have been more enemies up there, or like more to the layout where I could have went farther, it would have been good for making more money. My god, it removed every debuff except the ones I cared the most about. And I still didn't get it removed. It's really gonna suck going into this boss fight with having my MP recovery lowered. Is there an enemy somewhere? I guess I can try and grab one real quick down here. Or there's a couple up here that I didn't kill, I guess. There we go. At least to just get me up to 150. You really don't want to be wasting time in Omega Sector like this, though. Unless you have a lot of unless you come in here with a lot of time to spare. Because you can see I'm already down to only 2 minutes and 30 seconds. And that's to kill 3 phases of Susanoo. We'll see how it goes. What? I got hit there? Was the animation not done? I'll have to watch that back. But as I'm playing right now, it looked like the animation should have been done. Does getting hit make you lose your Glaives? Huh, I never really seen that happen before. Something canceled my Glaives there. What the heck happened there? I'm having like some input issues with staggering cuts. I probably ended up double tapping the button and I rolled out of it or something. Barely got my SP skill off there in time. Oh, man. I figured that was gonna happen. That's alright, though. I don't have to win the game on every run. I really struggle to deal with bosses on Hibiki. I'm not sure exactly why. I know I could just be spamming staggering cuts back to back endlessly and have permanent invincibility, but that doesn't feel satisfying to me. Still, it's definitely something that I would need to improve on with my gameplay. It's not any fault of the build. I should have been timing my staggering cuts a lot better for the invincibility frames, or just choosing when to attack more efficiently. Anyways, that's gonna be it for this one. Thank you guys for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.